Blundering Bros, because our stupidity is what unites us. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Blundering Bros. Let's have a look at the round 2 games of the Tata Steel's chess tournament for the Challengers Edition. We start out with a perfect score 100-0 by Arthur Pipers. Congratulations, well done. Yeah, the opponent got 99 too. Not too shabby either, but it was a short game, so let's just click through it. Queen h5, queen f6, knight e4, queen e6, knight g5, draw. Next one, another draw but a bit longer. A Catalan quiet game. Yeah, here white releases the tension. Definitely not a blunder, but yeah, perhaps she could have pressed a bit more in that sense. Knight c6, the engine doesn't like. Yeah, white has a bit of an edge. Rook dc1, logical move, but apparently not the best one. Yeah, so here she just goes for b4, and it fizzles out into a draw pretty quickly afterwards. So next game, Faustino Oro. Not his tournament yet, unfortunately. Yeah, this is one of those openings personally I'd hate to play as black. Although, yeah, as white, I probably wouldn't achieve that much either. I wouldn't recommend it to, yeah, any young players in particular, because seemingly you just have to sit there and wait, hope for a draw, which usually doesn't suit younger players' styles. Yeah, white's edge is growing here. Missed a chance to keep it that way, apparently with RFD1, but he still has a nice position. Okay, takes a pawn, takes a pawn. Yeah, at the end of the day, black has 4 pawns, white has 5 pawns, and a nice little edge. So the German Grandmaster keeps making nice moves. And yeah, at some point, black defends a bit inaccurately and pays the price. Resigns. Next game, a draw. Yeah, it seemed the opening went pretty well for black, but then at some point he messed up and, yeah, made a tactical draw offer, which is always hard to refuse when you're playing against a higher-rated opponent. But, yeah, if you only look at the position, white probably should have pressed on a bit. Yeah, so the A pawn is a lot stronger than black's F, G, or H pawns. Here a draw was offered. Let me know what you think. I guess white could have played on a bit. Yeah, then we reach a game by young Buck, Benjamin Buck, and it's really impressive. He also faces the Najdorf. He came well prepared, I imagine. I'm not sure if Gurel plays this system a lot, but yeah, Mr. Buck, he was not impressed, and he played beautifully. H3, G4, bam, you can already see those pawns coming. C1, then D1, F5, apparently not the best move. Yeah, risky for sure. c5, the knight is covered, so apparently all the tactics work in white's favor. Let's just quickly make some amateur moves. C, d6, queen takes. Yeah, now you're having some trouble on the d file. So he went for f4. Let's see what he takes anyway, because fe3, rook c7, and the knight is hanging once again. Yeah, b7 is weak as well. Just took it with the knight. Queen a4, you're threatening absolutely nothing as black. Yeah, he would like to land a queen g2 mate, of course, but we can all dream. Yeah, he even exchanges the queens and the pawns. They're quite happy. So at this point, he called it a day, Mr. Gorell, and hopes for a better game today, of course. Now we go to the next one, which is, let me try to pronounce Yakubov against Nagerbek. Another Queen's Gambit declined, c5. Let's see if anything happened in this game. Exchanging loads of pieces. Yeah, not much going on here, I suppose. Queen d2 double attack, leaving the f7 pawn on pre with check, but apparently that's not a problem. Rook takes c6, knight takes c6. Wow, knight g6 check. Knight f4. Well, black is better apparently, but yeah, of course he's up in an exchange against two pawns. But yeah, the king isn't as safe as you'd like, perhaps. Check, check. Okay, that's how they repeat it, so let's see. Yeah, and here black could have kept the game going. Yeah, now the king is all right. It's maybe more of white's king and bishop that needs some care. But the tactics of knight d3 work. Yeah, and then queen d1. The knight moves again. Queen d7, king, queen e4, king h8. Yeah, I could see why black wanted to draw. It's tough. It's yeah, one of those positions that it might be better, but it's a bit risky. So we have one more game. Another impressive Dutch win by our old friend Arrow in the front. Let's see what happened. Okay, A bit of a quiet line in the opening, which I think suits black. Mr. DeFrance styled pretty well. Yeah, here he already has an edge. H5, not the best one. Apparently he could have played BX H4. Yeah, giving him so much compensation for the piece that he's actually better. I wouldn't consider that in a 1 or 3 minute game, I suppose. But yeah, maybe when you've got a lot of time to think about the consequences, it will become clear. That is very good for black. Yeah, white's king is a bit open. Both these pawns are weak. And I still don't immediately see this one, for example, would be a mistake. Yeah, white would be in big trouble. Rook f3. Now we have to start to make some clumsy moves because rook e3, queen f7, queen e2. If you take here, this one drops off. If you take here, black is this. So yeah, h5. I don't blame him for not going for bishop takes b4. h4, knight h8. Maybe it's a bit too fancy, but whatever. Knight d4, mistake apparently. Toot, 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 toot. Yeah, that d3 knight is hanging. g3 is a weak pawn. Bishop d8, not the best, but why? Well, because your bishop is weaker than the one you could have traded then, I suppose. Rook c3, mistake. Could have played f5 in this case, after which you're still a lot worse, by the way. Okay, b6. Yeah, white's just barely hanging on for now, with all the weaknesses in black's activity. We'll get to her shortly. -4, -5. Bishop takes h4. Bam. You can't take because knight takes h4. It's just devastating, but everything else loses as well. So you might as well have taken it, I suppose. So that's 2 convincing wins by the Dutchman, Benjamin Buck, the young buck, and our old friend Erwin the friend, not to be confused with Arrow in the front. We don't know what happened there. As fate would have it, the 2 lads are playing each other this very afternoon. What do you predict? Here at Blundering Bros, we expect a correct draw with a ridiculous high accuracy percentage, much like the Friends' first game, unless the young buck pushes for a win, which we think he'd live to regret. This prediction could be an absolute blunder again, though. Please let us know in the comments down below what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.